here, a place where we can laugh and talk and days are filled with cheer. The clouds and sun may come and go, but one thing's always clear. Welcome back, my friend, you know I'm really glad you're here. Yeah!
Hey, welcome back, my friends. I am indeed really glad you're here. Welcome to live stream number 183. It's November 25th, 2024. If you can believe that, I might sound really old here by saying, where did November go? What happened to November? It's almost over. I can't believe it. It just started. Anyway, she's a moving on for sure. Hey, I was playing with some settings here, and I got this setting that shouldn't be here, this round one. It looks kind of cool, but that's actually the setting that I think we want to use, not the round one. Why is it? What happened to my? Yeah, I changed some things around here. I shouldn't have touched it, right? I shouldn't have touched it in the first place. All right, that's good. My colors changed. That's good enough. That's all right. See, you had to play. Stop playing. All right, I got it. We're purple. Why are we purple? What's up with that? It's all right. All right. Anyway, well, thanks for hanging around while I'm messing with that stuff. So it's live stream number 183, November 5th, 2023. If it's your first time here on a live stream, please say hi in the highly interactive live chat. I'll be looking through the live chat in a little bit and then answering comments or questions and just kind of free rolling and talking with you tonight. You can find the channel anywhere now. You can find it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And actually tonight I did stream to Instagram as well. Lately, I've just been streaming to Facebook and YouTube because they're the two that are more interactive. We see the comments and we're going to do a sticker giveaway later. So you want to be here for that. As we say, stick around for the sticker giveaway. And, I just want to make sure I wasn't missing. Yes, I said 2023. Sorry about that. 2024 sticker giveaway, which applies to YouTube and Facebook viewers only. So if you're watching from Instagram, welcome. But you can't participate in the sticker giveaway unless you're on YouTube or Facebook. We do this every Monday night, give or take, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. Now, of course, I wasn't here last week because we were traveling last week. It's good to be back. Every time I miss a week, when I come back, I feel like I've been gone forever. So I really am happy to be here. Happy to see so many people still jumped on the live stream and didn't forget about me after a week. So it's great. It's great to be home, as I said in the thumbnail. So tonight we're just going to talk about anything you want, really. What I'll talk about where we were last week, and some things that might be going on in the future. So, all right, well, let me look around without looking like I don't know what I'm doing. We'll go to some comments soon. I did want to mention, sometimes it's been a while since I did this, and people like this. Fun facts. Kind of somber here, but it is International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Should be every day, right? Why is that even a day? But we want to be aware of that. This is fun. It's International Hat Day. Kind of always wear my hat. It's Better Conversation Week. What an appropriate time for Better Conversation Week, because it's also Thanksgiving here in the USA in just a couple days on Thursday. Again, I can't believe it already. Thanksgiving in the US, Better Conversation Week, which is perfect because Thanksgiving is the time when families will all gather around the table as one happy family. And ultimately, someone will talk about politics or the election of 2024 and ruin dinner for everybody. That's Thanksgiving in America. It's also National Adoption Week. So that is a nice thing to remember. I always liked how Wendy's Wendy's is a big proponent of that because Dave Thomas was adopted, the founder of Wendy's. He seemed like a really nice guy. And I liked how they kept that in the forefront. And of course, it's National Family Week. I mean, all these things happening this week. This is funny. This is ironic. I was looking through what day it is or what events are happening today or this week. It's also GERD Awareness Week. That's Gastroesophageal Reflux Disease Awareness Week. And here we thought we just ate too much on Thanksgiving, but it's actually could be a disease. So I know it's a serious thing. So if you do suffer from gastroesophageal reflux, then well, we're thinking of you this week. And I guess Thanksgiving must be a difficult time because we all like to pack it in on Thanksgiving. Yeah. Anyway, there's your fun facts for today. There they are. Let's take a look at the comments and see what's going on here. Looks like the first comment here was Kent from Hope Construction. Good to see you, Kent. Hope all is well. Rusty Garage. Good to see you this evening. Our friend David from RCAF Polar Express. In fact, David says that very warm and wet November up there in Canada. First snow was yesterday and already melted. We have finally had some rain. I've shared that on the Facebook posts. I made a video a couple weeks ago about the drought that we're experiencing here in New Jersey, southern New Jersey. But there were forest fires up in northern New Jersey and some in southern New Jersey. The burn ban has now been lifted here in New Jersey, but we're certainly not out of the drought. We've had, maybe an inch of rain over the past 2 weeks. A couple of rainfalls. One was a quarter inch, one was a half inch. But finally, the ground is kind of damp. There's standing water. There's some puddles around. So we're out of that. Of course, now nothing's growing because it's that time of year as well. But it was getting a little concerning. It was so dusty and dry. So looks like we're past that for now. And now we just need some more rain, which I think is supposed to rain tomorrow. And we need quite a bit to kind of bring the water tables back up. Not all at once. We need some soaking rains over several days. Gentle, so it can soak in the ground, fill up the streams and lakes and those kind of things and the ponds. But those big heavy rains that come all at once, that's just too much. Is that too much to ask to have it just the way we want it? All right. I should mention, because we were talking about folks who might be here for the very first time. Well, if you are here for the very first time, again, this is an interactive live stream, interactive live chat. So if you have a question for me, for anybody in the audience, post it in the live chat in this format with the word question followed by your question, and then it stands out much better. So that is that's how we like to do it here, right? Okay. Trying to get that color right. I used to have the number that I could type in for that. But anyway, if you have a question, you can do it that way. Let's lose that. And I'll continue to look through the comments for right now. So many familiar names. Chris. Well, Chris, greetings one and all this week. I'm thankful for my Monday night friends. How nice. That's a segue for me to talk about where we were last week. We went on vacation. We were in vacation mode. We went to Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia last week for several days. That's where I was last Monday evening. But where was I last Sunday evening? I was at a nearby restaurant with none other than Mr. Chris and his awesome wife. And we were having dinner with Chris and his wife and me and Ann and our friend Margaret and John. Great time. Great to meet up with Chris. Second time meeting Chris in person. And thank you, Chris. Thank you again. It was really good to spend time with you, for sure. So we were in Colonial Williamsburg last week, and we have another friend who lives down there, and he actually is a volunteer, so he was able to give us kind of a guided tour of the area. If you've not been to Colonial Williamsburg, if you're on the East Coast and it's an easy drive, you ought to go. It's really not only a beautiful area, but it's informative. You learn a lot about history, um, and they're very true to history. They were doing some archaeological digs while we were there, and they look for through maps, through history, they kind of place where buildings were that are no longer there, and they do these archaeological digs to find old foundations. When we were there, they were searching for a fence line. They know when they dig the ground, when they excavate the ground, and when I say excavate, I'm talking about shovels and little tiny. It's just like when you see people looking for dinosaur bones. They're using these little tools, and they see differences in the soil, and they say, "Oh, this is a post hole. So there was a fence here." And they find the area, and then 8 feet away, there's another area where the soil's been disturbed, and it's a different color. Like, this is another post hole. So then they can figure out that the original fence line went this way. They find where the house was, and they're rebuilding some of these structures as they were during the period. So very, very interesting. The other thing that they were doing this week was making bricks, firing bricks. Red bricks are, thank you, John. Thank you. That's very kind. Very kind. I appreciate that. Red bricks, you see them all over the place. They are made from clay, and Colonial Williamsburg, we'll just call it CW from now on. They build once a year. They build a kiln, and they mold clay bricks out of raw clay. They make these molds. They dry them out. Once they're dried out, they make a kiln. They stack the bricks up, and they burn the bricks for a week to whatever temperature you can get it to. I don't know what that is. And they make these bricks. They turn red when they get so hot, and that is where the bricks come from. And they'll use those to build things there. So it's very much like it was done in the day. Let me show you the kiln for that. New iPhone update has changed things around on me. Why do you do that, Apple? Why do you do that? This is the kiln where the bricks are made, and it's they stack up the raw bricks, and the bricks are the kiln. So they fire the bricks, that turns glowing red, and then they cool it off, and you have red bricks. Then they basically take it apart, and those are the bricks. Very interesting. We were there for just a couple days and really just scratched the surface. There is a lot to see. So if you go there, take some time, maybe go there more than once. All right, so there's my little promotion for Colonial Williamsburg. CW. We also went to Jamestown. Yorktown is nearby. Lots to see. Lots to see for sure. So, Chad, man, you're reading my mind. I wanted to mention this earlier. When I was getting ready up here, I thought, I want to talk about this. So, what an apropos time to talk about this. Chad's asking, do you get some room heat in your studio from the chimney when you have the fire going downstairs? We've had the fire going now for quite a while. I mean, weeks, I guess. So that chimney back there, we're up here. I'm up here on the third floor. Hello, thumbs up. I'm up here on the third floor. That chimney is what the wood stove goes into. To touch it now, it's probably about 80, 90 degrees. I should get the little heat gun and test it. I don't think it's 100 degrees. Probably about 80 or 90. Very warm. There is no other heat in this room. I mean, there is a mini split unit up here, so we could turn that on, and it is a heat pump, so it will generate heat. Now I realize it's only in the 40s at night. It's in the 30s, so it's not really cold. But the point is, this room right now is pretty almost uncomfortable. Let's see. Now, outside, it is, let's see, technology. It's 45 degrees outside, so it's not super cold outside, but still, it's 45 degrees outside. This room is 73.8, almost 74 degrees. It's very warm up here. So I'm excited to see what this will be like in the wintertime, because this room wasn't finished last year. I mean, it was here. It didn't have the shed dormer. It was just the attic space. It was not insulated like it is now. So it'll be very interesting. By the way, I mentioned it's 45 degrees outside and 74 degrees in this room. I've got 2 full windows over here, and they're both wide open right now too. So it's a fun thing. And the second floor, the chimney is enclosed. It's in a closet area. There's some shelves around it. Probably going to expose that because we're going to do some work on the second floor as well. But this is, yes, Chad, the answer is yes. Lots of heat from that chimney. The chimney has a liner that we had put in last year. It's got a stainless steel flexible liner that they slink down the chimney. There's no insulation around that liner. A lot of times they'll put a vermiculite, they'll pack vermiculite around that pipe, that liner, and that will do, I guess, 2 things. It'll keep the chimney from getting hot, but also it keeps that pipe, that liner, at optimum temperature. It keeps it hot, because if you don't burn hot enough, you get a lot of creosote and mess. So we're even trying to burn it hotter. We're going to try and burn it hotter this year, because when we cleaned the chimney, there was quite a bit of debris that had come down. Now, we did not insulate that chimney liner because our chimney is indoors. A lot of houses, you'll see the chimney on the outside of the house. And at times I thought, oh, I wish this chimney was on the outside so it doesn't take up room on the inside of the house. But this chimney's on the inside of the house, which means it doesn't get cold. So if you had a chimney on the outside of the house and it was getting all that cold air against it, it would be trying to cool down that chimney liner. But because we're inside, that chimney liner is going to stay hot, and it's not competing with the cold. So that was my point there. So a great question, Chad. And again, it's not been super cold, but we've been burning quite a bit. And I do like burning it. Also, there's another room up here, and same thing. If we don't have the windows open in that room, even if we do, you have to close the door, because the heat coming up is just so much that it gets too hot up here. So I guess it's a good problem to have, right? It's the beauty of a multi-story house compared to a rancher, which we had before. We had like 3,500 square feet of rancher, and we had several zones of the heating system, but you basically had to run the boiler. The air conditioner was one zone, so we had to cool the entire house. But by having multi-stories like this, the heat rises. It's much more efficient. It's a lot of walking, though. It's a lot of stairs. I get when people say, when you get older, you don't want a 2-story house. Well, our whole lives, we were on a single-story rancher. Now we went with a multi-story farmhouse. So we're kind of doing this backwards, but we'll put up with it as long as we can. Pee Wee Henson is asking, how'd your wood chipper work out this past year? Pee Wee, I love my wood chipper. If you've watched any of the videos, one of the most recent videos I made about the wood chipper was replacing the cutting blades. Had to do that, but I have gotten so much use out of that Woodland Mills WC68 wood chipper. It is really a great attachment for the tractor. As with any attachment, it has its pros and cons. Some people say, why don't you just drag all that brush out and just burn it? And it'll be gone like that. Not so fast. First of all, I like running the chipper because I can run it right in place, cut the branches off the trees, feed them in the chipper. You have a nice compact pile of chips. You get to use the chips for flower beds, for trails, for things like that. If you want to burn something, you've got to collect that brush, drag it out to the field, make a pile, burn it, makes a mess. Um, and I'm not saying there's not a place and a time for burning. In fact, we may do some of that. But the wood chipper, I just really like it. I like it more than I thought I would. So, point is, it's worked out really well. Oh, the cons. I talked about the pros. The cons are with this particular wood chipper, and I don't have other ones to compare it to. I would like to. It's a WC68, which means it's got a 6x8 chute opening. And supposedly you can put at least a 6-inch limb into this chipper. No way. First of all, my tractor can only handle up to 3 inches because it's on the low end of horsepower for this chipper. But the intake wheel, which is about 5-6 inches in diameter, you've got to get the branch under that wheel, and that wheel's got to grab it and lift up on it. And it's hard to get even a 3-inch branch sometimes for it to grab. It doesn't have a lot of grabbing power. That's one thing I think that they should improve, is maybe have deeper teeth on that intake wheel so they can get a better bite on the piece of wood to pull it in. Where this thing just kind of skips and skips and skips, and sometimes you have to cut the wood on an angle. So it's hard to get anything big in there. But other than that, I love it. Works fantastical. I see Margaret. I see Brutal Bob. I see John from A Ritter Bit Will Do. Brisk 22 degrees. Are you doing any snow blowing yet, John? I watched Ross's video. Ross on the land. He and his son did some maintenance to their snowblower for his BX. And I really enjoyed that video, Ross, because on video things look really good. You see the snowblower. It's nice orange paint. Snowblowers tend to be clean because you're just running ice and snow through them, not dirt like the like mowers get grass clippings all over them, or the rototiller gets mud and dirt. So the snowblower always looks clean. But Ross and his son took this thing apart at a pretty deep level, and there was a lot of rust, a lot of corrosion. So they took it apart, they cleaned it, they oiled it, did some other modifications to it. But it was really inspiring to see you taking care of your equipment like that, Ross. I really enjoyed it. So if you have a snowblower attachment on your BX or any other piece of equipment, you should check out Ross's video. It was very informative. All right. So did I get it right, Ross? Is that what you told me to say? All right. Chris has chipper envy. Come on, Chris. You've got the stump grinder. So chipper could be next. Now Chris has another question. Always noticing things. Looking at tonight's thumbnail, curious what the enclosure attached to the right side of the house is for. It's a secret, Chris. That's why you can't see it, because it's a secret. Anyway, there's a little fenced-in area. I'll tell you what's behind the fence. And it took me years to find out. We had to buy the place to find out what was behind the fence. I used to drive by this house all the time and say, what's behind that fence? My niece, when we bought the house, the first thing she said was, what's behind that fence? Like, everybody wants to know, what is it? It's just a neat little enclosure. And the oil tank is back there. There's an above ground oil tank. And I also keep the trash cans back there. There was a huge pine tree that they had taken down, I think, just a couple of years before we bought the place. But the base of that pine tree is there, and it's probably 36, almost 48 inches around. It's huge. And so there's a tree trunk in there too now. But that's what it is, Chris. There's an oil tank hidden in there. Yeah, it is so warm up here. I actually lit the fire off before I came up, and I asked Ann to keep an eye on it because I opened up the it's not a damper. What do you call the thing on the bottom where you let the air intake in? Maybe it's just called an air intake, but they don't call them dampers anymore because the damper's in the pipe, and you're not supposed to use a damper in these type of stoves. So Pee Wee will be buying a chipper in the spring. You will love it, Pee Wee. You'll love it. What tractor do you have? Because that's important. Um, the one I have, the Woodland Mills WC68. Again, I've got 19 horsepower at the PTO. That's what it's rated for, uh, spec'd out as. But Woodland Mills recommends at least 20 horsepower at the PTO. So I am right there. You know, the Kubota probably puts out 20, but they rated it at 19. But it's right there. And the WC46, which is the next one, smaller, is rated for smaller tractors. But as Woodland Mills shared with me, I can use the bigger chipper, just don't run as big of material through it. So then it's nice to have that big opening because you have a lot of branches that are shaped cattywampus and not straight. So having that bigger opening helps get some of that stuff in there that's a little bit gnarly. But it's important to right size your equipment. In fact, I'll be talking about right sizing your equipment in an upcoming video. I'm going to make a little video about equipment and about my tractor. You know, I've put attachments on my tractor that probably are too much for it. Like, for instance, the forestry mulcher, the brush mulcher. My tractor runs it. It does it well, but I know it's again, the tractor is at the bottom of the limit. Like it's barely adequate for that piece. But there are other pieces of equipment that are right sized for that tractor. So that's an important thing to remember. Phil, happy Thanksgiving to you. No Christmas trees yet. Not until after Thursday. Then everything can go right up. I did, I put some LED lights on the barn. I've shared some pictures on Facebook. So if you're not following on Facebook, and if you use Facebook, you'll want to jump over there and find me there because I share some different things on there than I do on YouTube because Facebook is more, I mean, there are videos on Facebook, but also a lot of still images and sometimes just some little funny limericks and whatnot you'll find posted on my account on Facebook. But anyway, I do share some pictures on there that I just don't share on YouTube. YouTube has that community page where you can share pictures, but it's different. It's just different. So I did put some LED lights on the barn and lit that puppy up. And what's cool about that is got an app, and I can change the colors, which is fun. Like here's a picture. I mean, you can pick anything you want, but there's a fun one. There's the barn with some yellow and purple lights. And there it was, all lit up in just blue. I saw that in Graceland. Elvis had a barn very similar to this, and it's in the back of the property. You're not allowed to go there as part of the tour, but the barn is, you can see the barn at the back of the property. There's not many acres there. But when we were there and it was nighttime and I saw the barn and it was outlined in blue lights, probably for Blue Christmas. But it was outlined like this. And I thought, that's pretty. I want to do that. So that's kind of what inspired me to get those lights and do that. So why did I say that? Because Phil asked about Christmas trees. So come Friday, maybe we'll light it up in red and green, or Ann says red, green, and white, not just red and green, but make it look a little classy. It's fun to change that. You know, I can just, again, I go on the app on the phone. I can change it to anything I want, different scenes, different things like that. Yeah. So, okay. So Pee Wee has a 2024 B26 tractor loader backhoe. The B26 is supposed to be a nice heavy duty machine. It's small frame like the B2601, but it's not the same. It's a more industrial machine. I don't know what horsepower it has at the PTO. You probably could look that up and let me know here. But yeah, that's a good machine. It's got the full roll bar system, and I think if you need a backhoe, that's a good way to go. Even though you can get a backhoe on another on the B2601, the B26 I think is really made for that type of work. So, Hey, the rural world. Good to see you. I checked out your channel. I didn't get a chance to watch too much, but yeah, I saw you on the live stream with Rob earlier today. Rob is doing a great job, and I'll just put that out for anybody who's watching here that Rob is uh, another great Canadian guy. And not that that matters, but Rob the Maritimer. He has a YouTube channel and it's really taking off. Like he's been doing YouTube for a while, but he kind of found his niche. And Rob has been encouraging people who are over 40 that want to start a YouTube channel. He's kind of been talking about how to do it because he himself is over 40, as am I, as are many of you. So Rob has a nice way about him. I've been enjoying his content. So if you are a content creator, or if you're thinking about starting your own channel, which a lot of you here are indeed that, or perhaps you're thinking about starting a channel, I would go check out Rob's channel, Rob the Maritimer, and see what he has to say because he's got a nice way that he talks about things and he's kind of learning as we go. Anyway, he's an easy watch. He had a live stream today with Kevin Colby, who's another YouTuber who talks about similar content. And I, in the comment section, I saw the rural world there, and they asked a question, I answered it, and you know, we connected a little bit. So anyway, I subscribe to your channel too, by the way, Rural World. So thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it. That's the cool thing about YouTube. Talked about this before. Millions and millions and millions of people, but yet you find like-minded people as far as interests and things like that. Content, it shrinks down quickly, and you find this kind of core group, which is what we have here. You're all just amazing for coming back here, and we have such a nice community of people, and we're focused on the things that we have in common. As many things are out there in the world that divide us, we've got this is what we have in common, and we share this interest of the rural lifestyle and outdoors, tractors, all this good stuff. And it's where we can come together. So it's really cool to me that is as big and diverse as YouTube is, that you get this community that comes together. No matter what your niche is it niche or niche? I think it's niche, but that just sounds affected, doesn't it? I'll say niche though, depending on your niche. Now we're doing, again, compact tractors, outdoors, DIY, rural lifestyle. How big is that? I don't know. If I chose a different niche, perhaps if I chose, I know finance is a big one, but there are different audiences. Like the Mr. Beast audience is way different than what we have here, and I can't attract his audience because that's not the kind of content that I do. So it just works out, for some people that they find their audience. So fact is, though, the point is we all can find an audience. No matter what you do, there's an audience out there. And I love to encourage people to start their channel and get to work with. I've got friends and I've got family who I know would be good at this. I know they would do a great job because they have the personality, they have the talent, they have the skills to share with other people. I know that they would do this and be successful. And I've tried to encourage them, but you can't encourage somebody to do something that they're not interested in. Even if you think they would be good at it, they have to have the desire to do that. So I can't force people to do it, but there are certain people you're like, that person's got skills and they could do really well. They could do better than I'm doing. They would just do really well, but I can't do it for them. I see someone saying, Phil saying hi to Donald from Money Pit Homestead. Good to see you, Donald. Donald and I met along with his wife at the expo, the Equip Expo, which it is great to meet up with people. Dale has a question about, actually it's a sheep, Dale. It looks like a goat, but she's a hair sheep. Ermelinda is a hair sheep, so different than a goat. still has, you don't have to shear a hair sheep. They shed it out. I said shed. They shed it out. But it still has kind of a oily feel that when you pet her, it's like the lanolin. So I guess she's waterproof. But the good thing is you don't have to shear her. Uh, so I put a calf. It's called a calf hutch, and it's perfect size for her. It rained the other day, and I wasn't around to see if she actually used it. I do feed her in it. We feed her in it every evening or every day. Whenever we feed her, we've got the grain bowl bucket in that calf hutch, and she runs right inside. We pour the grain in, so she's very comfortable going in and out of it. So I would guess when we get snow or heavy rain that she's going to use it. I think animal instinct is they would just as soon lay down under a tree. That's where I see her most of the time, is under a cedar tree, and that gives her the cover she needs. But it's there for her. It makes us feel better that we provided a shelter for her. And I've got to get some straw in there, so it's nice bedding for her. But sheep are not, they're not clean like dogs or cats. A dog will not go to the bathroom where it sleeps. A sheep will go to the bathroom and sleep right on it. It's disgusting, but that's just the animals they are. Maybe that's nature. Maybe it does something for the scent for them. I don't know. But thanks for asking the question. Who's Your Handyman has another question about the fence, the invisible fence for the puppy. How many feet were installed? How many cost per foot? How's the puppy adapting? Hachi has adapted well to it, not as well as I had wished or had hoped she would. We started out training her. Well, let me go back and I don't know how many linear feet we did. We did a pretty big area, probably a good half acre fenced in for Hachi. Went around the perimeter of the driveway, so she can't get out to the driveway or the road. We've got like an island for her in the middle of the property here. So I don't know how many feet it was. It was like a couple $1,000s to have it installed, which includes the collar, the controller, the labor, the wire, all that as well. So that's what I can tell you about that. As far as training her, we started out training her with a leash, and then you'd walk her up to the boundary, which is the white flags. She would hear the audible beep, and then you would teach her pull back. Like as soon as she gets to the edge, pull back. She did that pretty well, and then a few times she went through it not knowing. She got shocked. So it's just, now I feel bad, but she's kind of afraid to leave the porch or the deck. She's got all this room to run, but she won't really. She only goes about 10 feet from the house now. We take her. We have a system now, because if I put the leash on her now to train her, she associates the leash with getting corrected, and she just freezes and won't move. So the leash doesn't work. What we've begun to do now is, since we have 30 acres of woods that she loves to run in, we drive the side-by-side, the mule, into the yard, and she knows she can get in the mule, up on the seat, and then we drive through. She gets no correction, no tone or anything. And then once we're out of that zone, we're in the field or the woods, she hops out of the mule, forgets everything that ever happened, and runs her heart's content in the woods, has a great time. And then when she comes back, we put her in the mule, drive across the boundary into the yard. So she has associated now the side-by-side with safety. So she knows it's safe to get in there. But to get her to cross over that, you can't do it. I mean, she won't cross it on a leash or anything like that. So that's kind of how it's working for us. But it did work. She does not chase the mail truck anymore. She does not chase delivery trucks. She'll bark from the porch, but she won't run out to them. Our front porch is very close to the road. She sits on the front porch. Again, she'll bark, but she will not step off that front porch to chase cars. So problem solved there. She's not going to get hit by a car. You feel guilty that she doesn't have the freedom that she once had, but it's for her own protection. So Pee Wee, again, thanks for the follow-up. 24 gross horsepower, 19.5 the PTO. So it's really the same as the B2601 as far as horsepower. So again, keep that in mind. If you get the WC68 or equivalent in another brand, be aware that you're probably at the low end of the horsepower on that. So just be careful what you feed into that thing. You can slow down the feed rate, but you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. All right. I need to take a breath. I've been talking and talking without stop. I haven't let you say anything. I've been taking up the whole conversation. Are they? I didn't know that, Tom. Stump grinders are hard to get, all back ordered. I did not know that. I bought mine used actually several years ago. When I bought mine, they were going for about $3,000. I don't know what they cost now. This was like 3 years ago. $3,000 was the price. I'd been looking on Marketplace, and I finally found one, and it was in Albany, New York. So, but it was $2,000. So I was saving a good chunk of change, and it was not even used. Like it was being sold as used. But the guy who bought it, I think he probably hooked it up one time. I mean, it was essentially brand new. But Albany, New York is 5 hours from here. At the time, I was working up in northern New Jersey, so that day I went to work, which was 2.5 hours away. Then after work, I drove to Albany to pick up the wood chipper. Then I drove the 5 hours home. I was closer to Canada than I was to home at that point. But point is, mine was used, and I just found it that way. So I don't know about the new ones. Woodland Mills is usually pretty good about inventory. When I bought my stump grinder last summer, it was in stock. I ordered it. I had it like in a week. So, yes, Don, it was great to meet you as well. We will meet again. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the reminder to hit the thumbs up, Don. Appreciate that. Thumbs up. Fireworks. Oh, it's too soon. Fireworks. Come on. Come on, man. That was how you do it, I thought. Now I just look foolish. Yes, I can tell you this, Dale. Evan, I didn't see Evan's video about the Bombylite medium-sized stump grinder. I am actually going to be trying one of those out for Bombylite. I think it's a new product, and they're trying to get some feedback on it. You'll be seeing that on the channel. I don't have it yet, but we'll be doing the same thing. Hey, Jeffrey, you're near Albany. Did you sell a wood chipper 3 years ago to somebody from southern New Jersey? If you did, it was me. Rural World, thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate that. Yeah, and Chris, unknown to one another, Chris and I ordered the Woodland Mills stump grinder like a week apart from each other. And he didn't know I was going to order one. I didn't know he was. And yeah, he got his quickly too. They were offering free shipping at the time. Oh yeah, you know what? I did see Evan's stump grinder. He's got the one with the rear hydraulics that you can run back and forth. So what I'm going to be checking out for Bombylite is a small stump grinder, probably more suited for my tractor, more suited for a BX series, subcompact series. I did see Evan's video. That's right, because he had the one with the controls, so you could hydraulic controls, I think, for back and forth or tilting. Yeah, I did see that. He's got a bigger tractor too. So, yeah. Okay, that's right. And Evan from Country View Acres, I met him for the first time at the Expo. Why is that hard to remember? The Equip Expo. So it was great to meet a new friend. I met several old friends in person and made a couple new friends as well, which is what it's all about. Don't you think? That's what I think. Yeah. So this is pretty fun, and I'm scrolling through now. Did something change here? Is something changed? There's another screen here that I'm not used to. It's because I've been gone for a week, right? Well, let's do a sticker giveaway. And I apologize. Last time we had a show and a sticker giveaway. I know that the person who won, I forget your name, didn't hear from me for a week or two. I got an email the other day, so I have not mailed out the last sticker. But anyway, we're going to do a sticker giveaway. I'll give away this one, which is kind of fun. I had those made up recently. Made specifically by me. You won't see them anywhere else unless somebody else copies the sticker. So that I'll throw in one of these, and maybe even one of these that I'm still getting rid of, because look at that. Look at this antique. 25,000 subscriber YouTube subscribers. We're more than double that now. Isn't that fun? So still have some of these left, never to be made again. I might throw some of those in too. The rules for this is to type in the word or phrase on the screen the way I share it right now in the live chat, Facebook or YouTube only. Hashtag T-Day for Turkey Day, for Thanksgiving Day. Enter hashtag T-Day. Make sure you use the hashtag no space, all lowercase, all uppercase, combination of the two. It doesn't matter. That's all you have to do. And what I usually say is, if you've already won and you don't want to participate, then don't participate. If you want to participate, participate. I'm not making the rules here. That's just how it goes around here. So, anyway, you'll definitely be getting one of these, and one of these, and probably one of these. A whole package of them. And not many people entering, because so many people have won. But again, if you want one or all of these, just enter. I haven't mailed any of these pens yet, but I got some of these pens made. Might try and throw one of those in the envelope if it fits. Might get crushed in shipping though, I don't know. I gave some of these away at the Equip Expo. Just had to have some swag to give away. All right, we're going to draw this soon. I've been talking for a while. You have your chance to enter hashtag T-Day in the live chat. This is for the live show only, not for the replay. But I want to end this on the song. So, it's going to happen soon. Only 15 people entered, but we cut it short quickly tonight. And Brad Johnston from Facebook. Brad's watching from Facebook. Congratulations, Brad. You're the winner of tonight's sticker giveaway. What I need for you to do, Brad, is to send me an email at contactmcgtv@gmail.com. Contact MCGTV all together at gmail.com. Brad, send me your mailing address, and I will slip some of these into a magical envelope and send them your way, no matter where you live, Brad. Doesn't matter. I'll get them there. Believe it. Believe me when I tell you. I'll get them there. Congratulations, Brad Johnston. Isn't that fun? So I'll tell you what I've been working on the last couple days here, on and off. You'll see it also in a video if I ever get it put together. But the car trailer, which I'm going to use as an equipment trailer, I started fixing it up, and then I got kind of away from it. So I'm trying to get it ready to go. I did put it on the road. It's legal. It's got a real live license plate registration, but I've got to get the lights and the brakes working. So I've been kind of tinkering with that, and it's just a little bit tedious. So I've been a little reluctant, I have to say, that to have to do all the wiring and then record it, and I don't want to complain here. Speaking of complaining, this is kind of funny. On YouTube, I put out a short the other day about basically just saying what I don't like about my F-150. And it was just kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of a fun little thing. I just talked in front of my phone, and I said, what I don't like about this F-150 is the fact that it sits up so high in the back, and I really don't like that about it. That I've had other trucks. My 2014 Silverado sat about 2 inches lower than this one. Um, the tailgate on this truck is so high, it's hard to hop up in there. I don't have the step on the ladder on the tailgate. The Silverado had steps in the bumper, which were great. This truck is just difficult to get up in the back. It's difficult to load with anything. The side rails are so high, you can't reach anything in there. So it was kind of just a silly little 1 minute mad rant about why do they make these trucks so high, like a little Andy Rooney thing, I guess. So I whenever I do a short like that, I put out the short on YouTube, which is the vertical videos that are a minute or less. Now you can do up to 3 minutes or something. But anyway, short vertical videos. I uploaded it to YouTube. When I do that, I also upload it as a reel on Facebook and a reel on Instagram and a whatever you call it on TikTok, a post on TikTok. And each platform performs differently. You just never know which one. Like I've had, I think the snake video on YouTube, which was a short, I think that got a million or a couple million views, and other places not much at all. This video about the truck now it got like I don't know 600-800 views on YouTube, but over on Facebook, where people maybe are a little more free to comment and criticize, it doesn't bother me. You can call me whenever you want. It's as long as it's reasonable. Over on Facebook land, that video now has 100,000 views. And that's because of the algorithm. People see it, they feel the need to comment and tell me, what a girl I am that I can't, that I'm complaining that my truck is too tall, and then other people saying, you know, they make those trucks for men who are compensating. So a lot of banter going on there, and everybody has an opinion, and they feel really inspired to share that opinion. Um, people telling me, why don't you just take your purse and buy a Prius, those kind of things. I don't know why people do that stuff, but it honestly, very little bothers me anymore in the comment section. I guess as long as I don't know you and I haven't offended you personally, that would hurt me if I did that. But other people making comments, it's really just kind of comical at this point. And I'll delete the comments if they're vulgar or if they're attacking another person in the comments. But if they're just criticizing me, have at it, man. But the point was, it's funny that video has gotten so many views on Facebook, like 100,000 now, and so few on YouTube. It's just interesting to me. It's just interesting. And people are funny. I remember in person years ago, I was talking to somebody, and they were complaining. I was in a situation where they were complaining about something, and I mentioned something, and they're like, so what? And I said, well, I just thought that was interesting. Like, that's not interesting. It's dumb. So, okay, you're angry. I'll walk away now. Brad, unfortunately, you can't mail it to me this time because Canada Post is on strike. I did not know such a thing, Brad. Did not know. Well, tell you what, I'm going to put the ball in your court, Brad. Whenever you're ready to receive, and whenever the Post is ready to not be on strike anymore, I'm leaving it up to you to email me when you're ready and say, okay, Ed, I'm ready to receive now, and then send me your information. Because if you send it to me now, it'll get lost and stuff. So it's on you, man. You email me when you're ready, and we'll do it. There's no expiration date, so don't worry about that. Very nice, Dale. You've met Evan. You live nearby. That's fun. Excellent. Chris is teasing our friend David about snakes. David does not like snakes. I shouldn't even say the word. I worked with a woman years ago who did not like cats, and she had a full-blown phobia about cats. Imagine the internet is just overwhelmed with cats and kittens. This woman had a phobia. You could not even say the word cat around her. Don't even think you can joke and be like, hey, there's a cat over there. I'm telling you, phobia. People said, do not say anything around her. So, and that was later in my life when I was mature enough to respect that. Not thinking, oh, it'd be funny to say there's a cat, whatever. All right. Kevin, thank you, man. Glad you're here for sure. The world needs calm people like Ed. I guess, are you talking about me or is there another Ed? I'm pretty calm. Life is short and just focus on what matters. That's what I say. That's what I like to talk about. Yep. So, anyway, lots of stuff, always lots of stuff going on. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate, that you come here from other channels, that you support other channels. We have this nice community of folks here, and it's really, really nice. I do appreciate it. So I plan to be here next week. I do have some folks lined up to be guests. I'm trying to coordinate that now. So I've got a couple people from companies that I think you'd like to learn more about. Hey, balloons. And they're going to be hopefully joining me in the next few weeks, maybe before the end of the year. I don't know. I was talking to our friend Josh, Stony Ridge Farmer. I missed him at the expo. He was there and he left before I got a chance to connect with him. Never met Josh in person, but he was here on a live stream years ago. We've emailed back and forth. Anyway, he's going to hop back on here. I think the end of December after Christmas, and we'll chat with Josh and see what's going on there because it's been a few years since we had him on here. So stay tuned. We'll have him. We'll have some other good folks coming on. And anyway, if you're celebrating Thanksgiving in the U.S., I hope you do have a great Thanksgiving. I hope that it is not tension filled. We're still in times of this whole thing with division, and it runs through families now. It's unfortunate, but again, like we do here, focus on what we have in common because we have a lot in common, and all that other stuff is just noise, and most of it we have no control over anyway. So let's focus on the things that we have in common because it's a lot. I meet people from all different parts of the country, now different parts of the world, many different views, different sides of politics, but we come together on certain things. What's with my hands? It's the mirror image, trying to get on the same level. Anyway, good times. Listen, have a great week. Have a great Thanksgiving. I know Canada, you had your Thanksgiving, I guess, already. I never know when that is. I'm sorry for that. But anyway, have a great week. Enjoy whatever you're doing this week. And let's get back together next week and talk about it. All right. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time.